Goal setting. Should my business include quarterly goals? That's the topic that we're going to talk about today. And in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to talk to you about two types of goals and a couple of ways that I think, or points that I think that you should focus on when you are setting your goals. If you watch this video to the end, I'd love to give you our ACT time management system. It's a PDF and a video, like a 15-minute video talking about how to use that PDF. You're going to need this when you are doing your goal setting. So just drop me a line below this video and I'll send it right over to you. If you are new to me and new to this channel, we talk about all things business and marketing for small business owners and entrepreneurs. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified every time we drop a new video. Thanks for joining. All right, let's get started. So we are talking about setting those goals. Super important. I'm kind of a geek. I love goal setting, but I do mine on paper. I do it digital. I've got color coded. I don't know. How do you do yours? I love to hear about it. Drop me a message below. Tell me your favorite way to set your goals. There are two types. Everybody's going to tell you different, and I'm just going to talk about these two. But you can either focus on the goal setting, like outcomes of the goals, or the process. And I'm going to tell you, I believe 100% you need to focus on that process. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have outcome goals. You want to have those. But if you focus on those, you don't have as much control over them. So if you focus on that process, you have control over it. Let me give you an example. If your end goal is you want to get 10 new clients, right? And all you're thinking about is 10 new clients, 10 new clients, 10 new clients. That is your outcome. It's difficult to really pinpoint that without focusing on that process. But for example, if today you do nothing, you're never going to get there, clear as day. But if you say, all right, I am going to do at least 10 calls before 10 a.m. I'm going to have at least 10 conversations before 10 a.m. You can count that. You can say, okay, there are 10 of these. I've done it. Bing, bang, boom, and move to the next one. That is focusing on the process. If you focus on the outcome, like being able to close on those calls or something, you don't have as much control over the outcome of those calls. So the most you can do is make sure that you're having as many conversations as you need to have. Over the long run, if you are analyzing, if you're looking at your numbers, you're going to reach that goal if you're focusing on the process. I hope that makes sense. But because you don't have as much control over whether you close that call, it's a hard thing to focus on for every call. But you definitely have full control over the process of calling. Now, can you analyze and improve to close more calls? Absolutely. Do you need more numbers? Do you need to adjust your script a little bit? All of that can be done 100%. But when you do that, you're going to go back and then figure out what that process is that you need to do on a quarterly, weekly, monthly, daily, whatever it is basis to get that done. So focus on that process and that goal will get done. It's a great way to keep yourself in check and in line and not demotivate, because a lot of times it can demotivate you, if that's a word, if you are focused on that outcome, but you will get to that outcome. The other thing I suggest is create stretch goals. Get those stretch goals going, because if you come a little bit short, you will still be way better off. A lot of times, I can't think of the name of the rule right now, but you know it. If you give yourself 2 hours to do something, it'll take you 2 hours to do something. If you give yourself 20 minutes to do something, it'll take you 20 minutes to do something. The same thing applies sort of with your stretch goals. And by that, I mean, if you know that you can close 10 new clients a month, give yourself a goal of closing 15, because maybe you'll close those 15. But if you fall short, what if you get to 12? Have you failed? I say no. So another topic, but anyway, do those stretch goals. I think it's good for you. So let's talk about some of the things that you need to do when you are goal setting. One of the things is You need to have short-term goals and long-term goals. You need to plan out 4 or 5 years down the road because you're gonna step back from there. If you don't know what that looks like, it's impossible to know what you're supposed to be doing today. So if you can't see that far, do a year, do 6 months, whatever it is that you are comfortable doing, but as far out as you can get, and then step it back until you get down to your quarter, your month, your week, your day. And that short-term, long-term goals really gets you there. And if you are loving the videos, show us some love on this video and please share the love with all of your friends. We appreciate that. That helps us out. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is the one thing. If you haven't read this book, it's so awesome. But it talks about how you really need to be laser focused on one thing before you can get anything else done. And if you don't know what that big goal is, then it's really hard to know if what I'm doing today is going to make sure that that big goal gets done. So what I suggest is on your daily goals, know what it is that you're shooting for. So whatever that big goal is, it should be on your daily goals, your quarterly goals, your weekly goals, all of that. But it should be on those daily goals as well so that you know I am directly doing something to make that happen. You want to make sure that no matter what crazy stuff goes on in life and business and anything else, that you are doing at least one thing every single day to move you in the direction of those goals. So whether it's a 5-minute activity or a 5-hour activity, make sure that you have something, have those activities that you can do to work on. If you only have 5 minutes, have those activities planned out ahead that you can work on that will move you towards that goal. So the one thing, focus in on what that one thing you need to do today and have that written down in your goals. The other thing I want to talk about is Eat the Frog. If you haven't read this book, another really great book, Eat the Frog. The concept is essentially get it done first. We dread doing certain activities, but a lot of times those activities that we dread are the ones that we really need to be doing, and we're just procrastinating them and putting them off. So Eat the Frog. For business owners, a lot of times that one thing that you really need to be working on is outreach. For whatever reason, it's uncomfortable. Sales, it's uncomfortable. So Eat the Frog, get that down and get it done. That's 10 before 10. Get it done in the morning before you ever move on to anything else. And it doesn't matter if it is a 5-minute activity. If you've gotten that one thing done that's going to move you closer, you've gotten it done. Awesome. Moving on to our next thing. Small wins. Small wins. So again, if you do something for 5 minutes and it is moving you closer to your goal, and that is the one thing that you had scheduled for today to get done because you had a million other things you needed to get done that weren't really moving you closer, but you got that one thing done. Awesome. Good for you. Make that a star for the day. It is a win because you got that done. So small wins are awesome. Another great way to get momentum in your life, in your business, in anything is to celebrate those small wins. So reward yourself. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about how you can do that on a daily basis. I don't know if you've ever seen this video, but there's an amazing video. It's by a guy, I'll link to it below, but I think he's a Marine, and he talks about making the bed in the morning. And what that actually does for us is it's an accomplishment. If you get up in the morning and make your bed, you have accomplished something. I am a nutcase about the bed. I have to make it first thing in the morning. I cannot stand when the bed is not made. So I get up, make my bed. I feel accomplished. I look at my room. It looks beautiful. One small thing, but how long does it take you to make your bed, really? 30 seconds? Make your bed, make it look beautiful. It's that one small win in the morning. If you have a goal of drinking more water and you make sure to drink 8-ounce glass in the morning, that's one goal you've gotten right out of the way. Exercise, another great thing to get in the morning. So the more of those small wins you can put on top of each other in the morning like that, a great morning routine can be one win after another. And that sets up your entire day to be a day of momentum, a day of winning, a day of achievement. So start your morning off in the right way. And again, throw in eat the frog, because if the first business activity you do of the day is one that you 100% know is going to move you forward. And I know that there might be an 8-hour day and you may only get 5 minutes done that moves you forward. I know those days happen. So if you make that 5 minutes in the morning, you will feel like you have accomplished something towards that goal in the morning. So again, prioritize, know what that is. Let's move to the next one. Write your goals down. No matter what you do, write your goals down. And there are studies that show that if you actually write them down, you are 100% more likely to accomplish them. So if that is painful for you to even think of, do it digitally. Have you ever used Notion? It's awesome. Do it digitally in Notion, but write them down. Write those yearly goals, the 5-year, 10-year, whatever, but go back then, yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. Write them all down. And when you sit down on a daily basis, you want to know what big goal your daily goals are moving you towards. So write that down on top of the goals for the day. Does that make sense? Have that big goal. Whether you want to write your 10-year goal on there, I like to write my big one on there. And then I like to write either a quarterly, monthly, weekly, something like that. Depends on, where I'm at, but I'll write one of those and then I'll write my daily ones. But it should align directly with those bigger goals. Your monthly goals should align with your quarterly goals. Your quarterly goals should align with your yearly goals. Your yearly goals should align with your 10-year goals. All of that should be connecting to the next. So it doesn't really matter which one you write down. I mean, if you put that into your morning routine, write that big goal down every single day. Help that. We'll do this in another video, but visualization. If you see that goal every single day, it works. The reason that New Year's resolutions don't work is because people write it down or think about it. Some don't even write it down one time, and that's it. Imagine the impact of you writing it down the night before, again in the morning for your daily goals, right? Imagine writing it down the night before, again in the morning. You've written it down for the week. You've written it down for the month, the quarter, the year. That is very powerful. It's a way of reminding yourself at all times, this is where I'm going. 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 And check the studies. There is study after study after study after study, but power of the mind is strong. And when you link that up with writing it down, and if you do it twice a day, morning and night, you are on fire. So get those goals done, write it down. And the last thing I'm going to end with is reward yourself. I kind of touched on this before, but reward yourself when you are doing a great job. Have those rewards written down. You don't need to have a massive reward. And I know the first thing somebody says is, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have. Okay, forget it. Don't look at it like that. The reward can be something as simple as, I'm going to watch 30 minutes of Netflix on Friday night. That could be your reward for meeting all of your stuff. It's 30 minutes. Give yourself a break. Or your reward could be going to get a manicure. Your reward could be anything you want. Maybe if you meet your goals, you're giving yourself a vacation. That's cool. Buying yourself a new car. I'm not saying you can't do stuff like that. A new outfit. But if it's a matter of, I don't have time, I don't have money, there are still rewards that you can give yourself. Again, we can go into rewards in a whole nother video. But I said that was the last thing and I lied. Let me reverse for a second. Make sure that you are revising and adjusting your goals. And I kind of hinted at doing it at night also. That is a great time. End of week, beginning of week, that's another great time. End of month, beginning of month, end of quarter, beginning of quarter, end of year, beginning of year. Those are great times to revise and adjust. If you wait till the end of the year, you're going to look back and go, oh my God, I forgot what I was even working on and worked on something else. Don't do that. If you can do it, get on a schedule of making yourself do it. I mean, 5 minutes is all it really takes. It's not like you have to go like insane over it, but 5 minutes, if you do it in the morning and at night, that's 10 minutes out of your day. Do you know the productivity difference this would make in your life and the accomplishments that you could have in your life if you did this. So revise and adjust. Check it out. Are you doing what you're saying you're going to do? If you're not, why not? Are you letting too many things get in the way? Are you not realizing how long it takes you to get stuff done? Look at where you need to revise and adjust and do it and do better the next day. All right, that's it. I'm going to end with a quick quote from Stephen Covey. I talk about too many books. All right, Stephen Covey. Begin with the end in mind. I am sure everyone has heard this before, but as you can see, that is what goal setting is about. You need to know where you're going to know what you're going to do today. Goal setting is all about begin with that end in mind and work it backwards. If you want the time management system, it's called Act Time Management. It is a PDF and a video. It's free. Probably should have mentioned that. It's free. So if you want that, drop a line below. Let me know. Be happy to send that over to you. And if you like this video, make sure you're giving it some love.